So people are still losing their minds about the fact that Trump and Elon Musk had a conversation. Like, this is still
You can't do that. You can't have a conversation anymore. What is this, America? Come on.
It's causing heads to explode. And the criticism by some of the mainstream media outlets is just so absurd.
Stupid.
And so here's a great example from MSNBC. I don't know who this squirrely loser dude is, but he's so butthurt about the fact that it even happened.
Elon Musk has sort of remade Twitter X as to a sort of a very Trump-friendly platform. He has endorsed him, and he said ahead of time, I'll be up basking softballs. I want to have a conversation. It's about vibes. And that's what we got last night. A vibe established there by Donald Trump standing in front of a portrait of himself as he, in tennis gear, as he did this 2-hour Twitter Spaces interview. But I think you hit on something important. Vibes do matter right now. I mean, and that might not be enough to carry one side or the other until Election Day. But right now, it is a stark difference, Gene Robinson, where we're seeing footage night after night of the vice president and her running mate having these raucous, joyful rallies. People are laughing. People are smiling. They're dancing to Beyonce before she takes the stage. Trump, on the other hand, is this. It was a 2 hours. I mean, he was a little more controlled in his rhetoric last night than he has been on the rally stage. At times, he seemed to sort of slur his words a little bit. But he, you could see here, there with the portrait behind him. But he painted a very dark, dystopic picture of America.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
can you even with this guy? Yeah, vibes do matter. And he knows that because he's part and parcel to the whole pushing out all the propaganda with all the vibes, right? Which are
and
bullshit.
The momentum.
Yeah, it's all a bunch of crap. I mean, they push out the vibes. It's all about the feels with these people. Meanwhile, reality happens. And we're living in reality and everything sucks right now. It really does. I mean, listen, we're positive people here and we try to make things positive, but day-to-day life, it's a dumpster fire out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can say vibes matter. Yeah, they matter. And we try to stay upbeat. We're good Americans who are trying to stay positive about things because we know that hopefully we can turn this ship around. But at the same time, the ship's on fire.
The ship and the whole ocean.
Right.
So, and I don't know, are people so blinded by the momentum that they don't go to the grocery store anymore? What is even happening?
They go, but it's that same meme where that girl is just looking at Kamala and looking at the propaganda, and they're so enamored with all the propaganda crap that they can't see the fire. Yeah. It's they're so distracted by this and distracted by guys like him who are pushing out the propaganda. They're just distracted. But listen, if they get elected again, that distraction's going to be gone. And then it's just going to be hell on earth. That's what's going to happen. Because it's right now, they're just seeing the shiny objects. And they're too stupid to see what's actually going on around them, which they've been living in for 4 years. And they hated her before all the propaganda. It's remarkable to me how they have snowed these people.
Well, the UK still so butthurt about the Twitter space that they're actually telling people in their publications how to delete their own X accounts.
Oh my God.
Here's your how-to on how to delete your account after Elon Musk's vile site helps fuel far-right riots.
Riots? What riots?
I can't.
What riots?
Because in the UK, there was the meltdown that happened over the stabbings, remember? And so they're blaming a lot of the riots on that platform.
For crying out loud.
Yeah, for inciting all of the anger. I mean, it's crazy. The people that want to silence him are out of their minds.
Just stop it.
You guys, if you are a person who is nearing or even in retirement and you are worried about the volatility of the stock market right now, I don't mean to sound pessimistic, but you should be worried.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a Harris-Walz presidency, because things are sketch. And if you don't have a financial advisor who is working through and reacting to current events as they happen, you're doing financial advising wrong. And you should have a second opinion no matter what. Even if you're happy with your current advisor, why not have a second opinion? Why not do a free consultation with our friend and sponsor of the show, Zach Abraham from Bulwark Capital Management? He's got a common sense investing guide that you can get for free when you go to knowyourriskradio.com. You can get that for free, but you can also talk to him and he can look at your current, the way that your money is currently set up for retirement and tell you what he might change, what he would suggest different, if anything. And then there's no obligation. If you are happy where you are, that's fine. But at least you have the benefit of knowing that you've had another second opinion, somebody who's a real expert and who's also a shameless conservative telling you what he thinks about how you're set up. There's no harm in that. And there's no obligation. So check him out at knowyourriskradio.com.
Advisory services offered through Track Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Track 24244.
That's right.
Yeah.
There was a tweet from Eric Swalwell, which I was just like, what? He actually said this. This was mid-afternoon yesterday. So this was well after everyone knew the success of the Twitter space and how many people saw it. And he said it was heard by no one. And it shows Trump is dodging the swing states. He just can't get the crowds. But I heard he's popping into the Boca Book Club tonight.
What?
How
Dude.
What alternative universe is he living in?
He's living in the alternative universe where he shtups Chinese spies. That's the alternative universe. And he farts on camera. And then people still put him in office. This is Democrats do. Yeah.
I could not believe, because this is so easily disproven. And I thought, okay, well, maybe like whoever his intern is just had this planned and released it at, like, there has to be an explanation for this. But no, he went on a TV station to say
no one.
The same thing, you guys, the same thing.
Harris at the top, you know, a coup. Well, he knows a thing or two about a coup, but he's coup. And he's desperate. And we saw that last night on his Twitter conversation. And Sarah, you know, by the way, he's not going out to the battlegrounds anymore. He's just sitting on the couch conducting, you know, Twitter space conversations with someone else in the billionaire boys club. And I don't know, like, where's he going to be tonight? At like a Boca Book Club? I mean, get out there and talk to people like Kamala Harris is. So you kind of feel bad for three people who were a part of that last night. The Republican Party, because they have an almost 80-year-old in decline as their candidate. Any investor in Twitter, because the platform has been reduced to nothingness, almost like the candidate that it's seeking to prop up. And even Donald Trump. I mean, he's boring now, and he's a former president, and it's no way for a president to let themselves go like that.
Everything he said is a lie. Every single thing. Okay, fart boy. Seriously. It's like, so he's going nowhere. That's a lie. He'll go anywhere, talk to anyone at any time, as opposed to Kamala, who won't do any of those things. She's the one who's locked in a basement, and everything is scripted. Every single thing, every word that comes out of her mouth is from a teleprompter. It's scripted. Every single thing. I mean, and then the age thing, they're bringing up the age thing. Dude, all of a sudden age is a problem for you people. I mean, come on. It's unreal, the spin that they're putting on this. They're still afraid. They're still very, very afraid of Donald Trump. And they're afraid of this alliance. Obviously, this scares the crap out of them because he is doing the things that we have been saying that he should be doing for 14 years. He's doing them. Mock. I mean, he's like going out there and he is getting in like the Twitter spaces and he's talking to streamers and he's engaging more pop culture things, which is fantastic because he's reaching the people as evidenced by this number.
Well, exactly. And so the fact that Eric Swalwell can gaslight everybody the way that he's trying to do, when we can see that that space was watched by 1 billion people.
Yeah.
Live, there were like 26 million people. And so for Eric Swalwell to just brazenly gaslight in that way is so amazing that people will watch that and be like, yeah, look, Eric's right. I mean, Eric, by the way, was tweeting. And so for him to be like, oh, that platform's going nowhere. Well, why are you on it?
Yeah.
You a-hole.
Nobody saw it, but I did.
Right. Exactly.
I took a break from banging a Chinese spy to watch it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And then there's more internal data coming out from X. 70% of the audience that watched that space were between 25 and 34, and almost half were women.
Yeah.
So this is why people like Swalwell and the rest of the mainstream media is worried about Elon, why they're so desperate to silence him, because he is reaching the masses and they know it.
And Trump is, Trump knows where to go. He's getting advised. When it comes to this, the advisement that he's getting is good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the counseling, people that are counseling him and saying, these are the spaces you need to be in. Good advice.
Yeah. And thank you, Barron, because a lot of that's coming from Barron and his friends.
That kid is brilliant and he's going places. He knows what's up. And it's great because he is meeting the people where they are, because that's where people are. People aren't getting their news, or at least intelligent people aren't getting their news from CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, and not even Fox anymore.
Yeah.
They're not doing it. They're getting their news from Twitter and alternative news sources. That's where people go because they do not trust the mainstream media, period.